This is going to be such a great game week. Game week 23, be ready. This is the football channel that brings you almost daily football content straight to your screens. Let's get into it. On to the first game, and it's Watford playing at home versus Norwich. Now, of course, this is a bit of a relegation derby. I mean, both teams, they want to survive. So getting the 3 points out of this game could be vital. Norwich did beat Everton 2-1, so they're coming off of a great win, and the morale in the squad should be very, very high. Also, speaking of Norwich, Dean Smith has been showing his great work to get sort of the lowest standard of football players in the Premier League to play high above their weight, to punch above their weight basically. Watford, on the other hand, they're very close to the relegation zone and could even swap with Norwich. Watford, they do have more quality, but missing Sarr in the AFCON is a big deal. But do you know what? Overall, I do think Watford are better, as I did say with the quality bit, and I'm just going to say for them to win. 2-1 to Watford, and I'm going to say for Josh King to be all over this game. On to the next one, and we have Everton versus Villa. Welcome back, Philippe Coutinho. I've never liked you, and it was never my fault not to, seeing as you were an ex-Liverpool player. But coming back and showing a side like Manchester United, a side that I support, and I watched that game, in your first game in 4 years, back with the Premier League, you did exceptionally well. Villa, they did draw 2-2 with Manchester United, as I did just say, and for them, that's a very, very, very good score, to be honest, in my opinion. Digne, he's returning to Goodison Park. They're playing Everton at home, and I'm not sure that Everton fans are going to be very happy at Digne. I mean, they'll probably be unhappy, really, at Rafa, the guy who actually let him go. Obviously, they had a dispute, and there's kind of it's kind of stupid for Digne to leave, because only a couple days later, Rafa, he got sacked. And my opinion on Rafa Benitez getting sacked is that right decision. You might as well just get it over and done with. You do not want to see the Everton fans sad. You do not want to see them angry, because they're such a strong and big fan base. I'm going to say 2-0 to Villa, seeing as he's done his damage, might as well be a Liverpool spy. And Philippe Coutinho, I'm going to say for him, again, to be a star in this game. Next up, we have Brentford playing at home against Wolves. And Brentford, I mean, they're a good side, and they've shown us that they are this season, but really, they're quite inconsistent. You see them getting some great surprises. I mean, we've seen it. Thomas Frank, he can pull a surprise, but then again, you can get a bad surprise where you lose against a team you really should be winning against. Wolves, they have won most of their games this season, and Bruno Lage's side look like they're wanting Europe. I mean, best defence, well, one of the best defences in the league, and the best goalkeeper in the league, as stats say. So it's going to be really, really hard for Brentford to maybe even get a goal in this game. I'm going to say 1-0 to Wolves. The reasoning for saying this is I just think, as I did say, their defence is perfect. And Brentford right now, they're looking like once they go 1 goal down, they can't save it. Leeds United are playing at home against Newcastle. Now Leeds, they're making a comeback this season. I mean, winning against West Ham 3-2. My oh my, pretty decent. I've got to give it to them. If you're beating West Ham 3-2, surely you can beat a Newcastle, who's a relegation scrapping team. To be fair to them, they did just sign Wood. Well, this was a while ago actually, and I think it's a perfect signing, and I'm going to tell you why. You've just signed Burnley's best player. Well, not best player, but best player going forward. Now that Cornet's at the AFCON, they're a relegation rival, and you've just stolen one of their best assets to now weaken them for your gain. It's perfect thinking by Eddie Howe, and I've got to give him that. Again, Newcastle, they'll probably, as much as they have would now. They're probably going to play defensively, seeing as Wilson's out. So it will be very hard for Leeds to score. I can definitely see that in my opinion. But what I can see is I can see Raphinha having a great game. I mean, when I've watched him, he's looked lively. And when he gets the ball, it seems like no defender can really tackle him, because he's just so quick. And he uses his skills to get round defenders like it's literally nothing. So I'm going to say for him to get a goal. But overall, it's going to be a boring 1-1. Manchester United, my team, of course, we got the kit back there. I don't know if you can see, but we're playing West Ham. Now, I do not need to say any more how important this 3 points is for us. I said we needed the 3 points against Villa, but of course we didn't get it. I was pretty mad I didn't show it. I mean, Macadad will be watching this and he knows I didn't show it, but Macadad, he was so mad, and to be honest, he had every right to be. Of course, West Ham though, they can't talk. They just lost 3-2 to Leeds, and Leeds are currently fighting for survival. So if you want to get into Champions League, if you are a Champions League side, you can't be losing to teams like Leeds. Personally, I'm worried as a United fan. You know, it's just because we don't look ourselves. I'm not angry, I'm just sad, to be honest, because we're losing the ball way too much and we're not doing anything when we get it. West Ham, they're a counter-attacking side, and I've got to hope players like Rafa Varane. I mean, my Rafa Varane, what I would do without him. I hope he can stop players like Bowen, who seems to have sort of his best run of form, I mean, ever. I want to say United to win, but I just can't. It can't come out of my mouth right now. I'm just going to say 0-0, and no one will find the net. It will be a bit of a lacklustre battle. On to Southampton, playing at home against City, and honestly, I feel bad for Southampton. They've had such a great run of games, although they did lose their last game to Wolves 2-1, and it seems like morale's kind of high at the place, and let's just hope that City don't thump them, eh? Southampton, as I did just say, they've had a great run, and I'm excited to see one of their players currently on loan from Chelsea, Broja. I mean, what a guy! He was playing in the Netherlands last year. He did extremely well, actually, stats say, and no one really talked about it. He's came to Southampton, made a name for himself, and Southampton, they want him for longer. They want him for 2 years now. So, it will be exciting to see how he can line up against such a world-class defence like City with Diaz, Cancelo, so many more. City, they've had a 13-game win run and are the top dogs. They're the top dogs in the Premier League. I mean, as a United fan, they just are. No one can say that they're not. I mean, look how many points they have compared to second. It's just crazy. So fair play to them, and I think they're going to make it a 14-game win run. It's going to be 2-0 to City, and I'm going to say for Bernardo Silva to get one, and the other will be a Diaz header. If I get that right, I'm a genius. What can I say? On to Crystal Palace, playing against Liverpool now. Liverpool, they smashed Brentford 3-0, and I actually said for Brentford to draw with Liverpool, because they actually did drew 3-3 with Liverpool, I believe, earlier in the season, and arguably they looked better without Salah and Mane. Only joking, but seriously, it shows how Klopp, he's adapted to, losing players, to having injuries. I mean, he did last season, obviously, with the Van Dijk, the centre-back crisis. Crystal Palace, they're decent defensively. I mean, what can I say? They're alright. And I could see Liverpool having a quiet game, because let's be honest, when you're playing Liverpool, you've got to go defensively. And I think Vieira, tactically, he's one of the smartest managers in the league, so I'm pretty sure Liverpool have a quiet game in front of goal. Palace, they'll run. run and run. That's just how they play. They're such a great team to watch. So I have no doubt that they're not going to tire out the Liverpool players. But at the end of the day, Liverpool, they just have so much quality. I mean, they have quality on quality on quality. And that's why I'm going to say 1-0 Liverpool. And I'm going to go for a weird one. I'm going to say Milner to score. I don't know why. Just have a feeling this game. Why not? On to Arsenal playing at home against Burnley. And Burnley right now, I feel bad for them. They just lost Wood. They might get Carroll in. Pretty sure it will probably be confirmed by the video is out. And yeah, right now they just look soulless. I mean, what else can I say? They pride themselves in building from the back, being a defensive side, being a hard team to beat. But it looks like this season they've just thrown that out of the window. I mean, I'm not seeing how, you know, their tactics. I'm not seeing their play style. They look a bit all over the place right now. Arsenal, they want CL football. Look opposite to what Sean Dyche is doing right now. I mean, Arteta, he knows how his side plays. They're very counter-attacking. They're fast. They love to go forward and they love to just cut inside, get a few shots off. And I don't think Burnley can keep up with that, to be honest. I think they're very slow players, and seeing a Smith Rowe, seeing a Saka, seeing a Lacazette, I think they could really, really destroy some Burnley defenders, especially seeing as me and Tarkowski are not on good form. And I'm going to say 3-0 to Arsenal. On to the next one, Leicester versus Brighton. Of course, 10th versus 9th. Potter, he really is a great manager, isn't he? And I think he'll set out his team much smarter than Brendan Rodgers, because I do think Brendan Rodgers is a smart manager. I just think Potter, he knows how to adapt to losing situations. He knows how to adapt to basically all the situations. I mean, that's why they score so many last minute goals, because when his team goes down, that's mainly just because they don't have that much quality in their side, but they always manage to save it somehow, and fair play to him. Leicester, they do have great talent. I mean, much more than Brighton. Vardy, Maddison, of course Ndidi is actually out, but there's, especially for Leicester going forward, that's really where they pride themselves on. I'm going to say this is going to be a goal crazy game. I just, you know when you just get that feeling, like you think, Morpay, Ballon d'Or winning guy, Vardy as well, Ballon d'Or winning guy, they're just going to get so many goals. I'm going to say 3-2 to Leicester. Next up, we got Chelsea versus Spurs. The last game of the video, I know. Oh, why can't I watch Macca football for longer? Click on the video, mate. Click on my channel and subscribe. It's as simple as that. But of course, you guys aren't thinking that. But Chelsea, they are such a great side. I mean, they played Spurs earlier on, a bit early from this. And Spurs got absolutely dominated, you know. We've looked at Spurs' front three, Lucas Moura, Son, Kane, and whenever they've came out against the infamous Chelsea back five, it's just never worked out for them. So honestly, I'm just going to say it right here, I don't think they're going to get many goals. Spurs, they do get most of their points from, you know, lower table sides, you know, the relegation scrap teams, and even with Conte in, they're still not looking the best against very good sides. Mount is a player I definitely want to talk about, and he is a player I have a feeling that he'll rip this game apart. I mean, he's very quick, he is a very great pressure on the ball, his energy, his intelligence. So I definitely think he's going to get a brace today. Well, not today. Well, in the game, of course. But I'm going to say for Chelsea to win 2-0, and Mount will get both goals. I mean, what a player.